Good morning, everyone. How are you all? So, why are we here today? All of us have a reason, right? Yes. So, all of us have a very clear-cut reason that we are aspiring for 2025 attempt, and we have some doubts in our mind. Yes. As a beginner, you will have a lot of questions, confusions, and all those things. So, who is a better person to answer all those answers? A person who have already walked that path. Yes, that too at a very engaged, and that too in a first attempt. Yes. So uh, you know before I ask him to take over the dais, right, so we will talk about a very basic thing, right? A mentor or an aspirant or a student can convey a lot of things. నేను కూడా చెప్తాను. Okay, we all can say, how to prepare, what to prepare. Okay, but somebody who cleared this exam like prelims, mains and interview will have insights. See, if you ask him, for example, sir, what to read for polity, what is the answer? We don't need a topper to answer what to read for Lakshmikant. Yes, but what was your approach when you are reading Lakshmikant? Okay, what are the problems you faced when you are reading for prelims, mains, and was it useful in interview? Like this, there will be different questions that you will be having in your mind. That is why we are here, right? Not for the book sources. Okay, and please make sure you ask all the questions you have in your mind with Mr. Pavan Datta, right? So without much wastage of time, I would like to introduce Pavan Datta, IAS, rank 22 in 2022 batch. Yes, please give him a big round of applause. Yes, because he is giving us a lot of valuable time, right? He's already in service. He's Maharashtra cadre IAS now, and he's in training. So in spite of his hectic schedule, after our request, he is here, very kindly accepted our request. So please make sure you utilize all his insights. Yes, right? Thank you so much for your time, Pavan.
Good morning, everyone. Hello. So comfortable with Telugu, English, Kannada? I am not well versed in Kannada, but so how many are you from Telugu states? All are from Telugu almost. Any from Bangalore or Karnataka, etc.? Only some people. Right. Any North Indians from Hindi or Marathi? No? Right. Okay, we'll keep it in English and a bit of Telugu here and there. So everyone is for 2025? Everyone is for 2025. So first tell me your doubts. So first I want to know your expectations from the session, because I did not prepare per se, like this is the structure of the session, etc. So let us go through your doubts first. Okay, I will write it. Please tell me your doubts first for the first 5-10 minutes, and then again we can go, like I'll start talking. Revision plan. Okay, then next, please be open because this is for you. Next, approach, in general approach for prelims and mains, right? Mainly interview is not needed now. Let us discuss interview separately and not at all needed now. We'll see later. Then be open, because you need to ask. అందరి మధ్యలో అడిగితేనే మనకి అన్ని డౌట్స్ అన్ని కూడా క్లియర్ అవుతాయి. సో స్టాండర్డ్ బుక్స్, సోర్సెస్, రైట్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్, time management in what? In exam or in your daily life, or daily life time management? Okay, how to choose optional? Okay, newspaper, how to read newspaper? Okay, answer writing for mains. How to start, how to write, right? Okay, Ranker and aspirant. Okay, fine. Okay, this is a general question that we'll take it in the end. Next, notes making. Okay. Okay. What not to read and what to read. Okay. So overall, ఇంకేమైనా ఉన్నాయా డౌట్స్? How to eliminate options in prelims? Okay. See, this is a matter of later. First, you get the basics first, and then we can go for elimination of the options and the UPSC examiner mindset, etc. Because you're writing for 2025, now it is not needed. Sorry, ma, I did not get you. Right. Inka? Right? Right, please. Right. So let us keep this in order. Intena? In majority. So if I am answering, please. Terminology. What terminology? Okay. Like for example. Okay. How to read and how to get perfect in a subject, basically, right? So we have already addressed that. Anthropology, right? So how many of you are from Anthro? Majority are from Anthro. Other optionals? PSIR, sociology. Bad. Good. So first we'll go with this. Sources and how to choose optional, right? Sources. So who asked this question? What are the sources? Meera anukuntam kada? Meera. So tell me the sources, you yourselves. Wait, let me ask you the question. For ancient India, R.S. Sharma, old NCERT, right? And then for medieval India, Satish Chandra, old NCERT. For modern India, Bipin Chandra, yes, or Spectrum. It's up to you, right? Anything is fine. This is a common source. And then for world history, let's discuss in a holistic manner, even for mains also. World history? No. World history, there are numerous institute materials. I followed Forum IAS ka red book. There is a red book of Forum IAS which I have followed. Okay, because it's lucid, it is point wise, but there is a difficulty in that for a first timer, for a beginner who doesn't have basics right of world history. He or she might find it difficult to connect the dots. Okay, suddenly one chapter talks about industrial revolution and then suddenly goes to some world war or something like that. But if you want to read it for, especially for mains, it's a very good book to read and to comprehend, so that you connect the dots with some videos, YouTube, something. Okay, this is a very good book. For society, so paper 1 may again we are coming, isn't like, okay, let us complete art and culture also. Art and culture, Nitin Singhania, that is what I followed. Okay, let us come to NCERTs afterwards. You have asked, right? NCERTs. Let us come to NCERTs in the later part. Okay, take it granted ki these are plus NCERTs. Okay, whatever we are speaking now, they are plus NCERTs. Okay, NCERTs are mandatory. Let us think right now. Next, society. I also was very, I was very adamant in not reading society, but trust me, society it carries around 4 questions, I think, every year. Okay, I thought ki I have studied anthropology, so I did not read society specifically. Again, it's very separately, but that is a wrong notion, because demand of society in anthropology is different, sociology is different, and GS paper 1 is completely different. I have again followed in the last 10-15 days. I've just gone through again Forum IAS ka red book. It's a very good book. Okay, Forum IAS red book. Again, I think there are a lot of channels, free UPSC materials and other things which carries this red books ka PDFs. You will find it somewhere. So just download it, give it to printing, and just start reading for society if you are reading now. And then for geography, NCRTs, and you can refer to certain issues, certain phenomenon, certain geophysiological phenomenons from certain books like PMFIS. You need not take hard copy. Just see it if there is a soft copy somewhere, PDF may. If you are having it, just have certain references. For example, how Japanese archipelago has formed. So certain things are very specific in PMFIS geography part. Okay, so this or any other institute material which carries these things. Okay, you need not read for every place, for every geographical regions, that you need not read everything, but have an idea how generally things are formed. Various other, you need for example, for human geography and like industries, etc. PMFIS is the best source, to go source, other than NCRTs for geography. And then again Atlas, anyhow we'll be knowing. And now you can use, even if you are not having Atlas, you can use Google Earth, use technology. Okay, if you have laptop, invest in a good laptop or good iPad. Okay, this is a good investment that you will definitely make it. Okay, because it makes your life easier, maybe in writing questions, or maybe, and you can go for some certain, copy pasting easy. No, it is very easier in iPads and laptops that you can do. You can consolidate the material, you can consolidate the online notes very easy. Okay, if you are having lakhs and lakhs of rupees to invest here or wherever the coaching that you go, okay, why not invest 30,000-40,000 for a good iPad? That is what I suggest. But even without iPads, or even without this technology also, you can make it. Okay, but to make your life easier, I'm just advising you as a senior, that's all. And then GS paper 2, polity. Governance, there are numerous online materials that you can follow. For example, if you take Vajirams, if you take some other thing, some other institute material established, they'll be having certain templates of governance, maybe e-governance or whatever it is, that recent issues. Okay, you can follow that part, or that means this, that now you need not read anything about governance. Now you should read about polity. You should master Lakshmikant. Then you can consider reading governance. Even, if you are keeping some 2 to 3 days for governance, it will be done. Okay, what is e-governance? You write definition. What are the best practices in the country, like Me Seva in Andhra Pradesh or some, and so what are the evidences that has happened? E-Bhumi project or something, happened in Karnataka, I think. So all these things are there. There are ready-made templates, ready-made answers for ready-made questions for such small things. So you need not bother about these things, right? So after this, what is social justice? Again, all current affairs. You can follow magazines. You can follow anything. It's, see, you take that mains GS paper 2 ka syllabus. For example, social justice may, for example, let us take a caste called as scheduled castes, right? Or scheduled tribes. You type scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, UPSC, you will find number of schemes, programs for upliftment of the, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes and other backward castes, etc. So that you need not go and sit and read specifically for them. That will be covered in current affairs, that will be covered in class. Okay, maybe if you are getting bored, just open something called as, SC commission. Just read by sleeping for 5 to 10 minutes. You need not have a specific reading for that. Social justice. International relations. Majority of the questions of international relations in both in prelims and mains come from current affairs. Take it granted. Okay, majority of them are from current affairs. Okay, so for the best book is following magazines, either Mains 365 or some other magazine of some other institute that you want to follow, right? For example, I'll tell you how do you go about revision for international relations. Generally start reading international relations after January, so that there will be at least 6 months of things that you can read. Okay, but before that, if you want to read, for example, there is a news on India-Australia relations. Let us consider, because there is Border Gavaskar Trophy that goes on in next summer of Australia. Then again, India-Australia relations come back, right? So you are reading that, and India-Australia, just open some standard institute material. Maybe there are PSIR guys. So take some PDF material from them. They must be having some only IAS or etc. producing good material of PSIR. Just read what is in background of India-Australia, how the trend of India-Australia relations shaped in the history. That's all. You need not remember everything. Okay, what has happened in the 1989 May, Australian Prime Minister visited India, Indian Prime Minister went out. Not at all needed. what is the trends of friendship, what are the major treaties that has happened between India and Australia. You need not remember the treaties names also, like for Australia, for UAE, etc. But there are certain treaties which are very important in the course of history, like India-Russia relations. There are a lot of treaties, India-China border issues, India-Pakistan Indus water treaties, and all these treaties are very important. And if you start reading, you will understand what is important, what is not. So you have asked now what not to read and what to read. You will automatically get it when you start reading seriously. Okay. Initially you might read junk, but after going maybe through August, September, October, if you are very serious about your preparation, trust me, you yourself will eliminate certain things which you feel are not important, and trust me, that is not important. Okay. So you'll easily get it for this international relations. And then one component which is very important for international relations is certain basic concepts, how India's foreign policy has changed from 1947 to the present Narendra Modi ji era, from Jawaharlal Nehru era to Narendra Modi ji's era. So how at the Prime Minister level, the international relations have changed as an Indian policy. It's a very important thing that you need to follow. What is the trend? That's all. That is the most important, that's the basic thing that you have to learn, and then go for current affairs and attack them. In Telegram, someone can open Telegram now. You can do it and you can join and share it to others if you have. Okay, Economy by Vivek Singh. Because for mains he produces materials, for prelims also he produces 450 MCQs. That for economy you need to follow him. Bas. Whatever the source, because I have followed, I am just telling you, whatever source you are comfortable with, you can do that. Okay, but trust me, this is a good book, very good book. Economic development ho gaya, or next environment. Environment, I followed PMF IAS, and I consider PMF IAS is one of the best books in the market presently. From Manjunath sir, I think the author is Manjunath sir. Manjunath Tamidi or something. Right? Not this Manjunath sir, but yeah. Okay, next comes disaster management. Disaster management is very simple, you need not worry now. Okay, you need not read also, but any institute material, only IAS is producing some good material on disaster management, NDMA guidelines. Those NDMA guidelines also, now I'll tell you how to use ChatGPT. Okay, even for answer writing you can use ChatGPT, even for consolidation of second ARC. Okay, anyone has now ChatGPT ka account or something like that? Do you have no? Just open, I'll show you. ChatGPT. Just ask it, consolidate, okay, something, whatever you want to, consolidate second ARC report for you in maybe, let us say some 500 words. Second ARC in 500 words. Without losing essence, something like that. Be very specific in giving you the prompts. Okay, did it give something? It's loading. Okay, fine, no issues. Okay, or consolidate for me in giving 200 words of NDMA guidelines on drought. Did you get something? Found it useful? So all the reports, you need not read too much. What not to read? Entire reports of second ARC, not needed. Entire NDMA guidelines, not needed. Ask ChatGPT, use ChatGPT to consolidate for you and give in 200, 300 or 400, 500 words. And read, copy paste it. You need not write it also. Copy paste it in your iPad or whatever it is, take print and keep it and read. That's the second ARC for you. Got it? For anything you can use ChatGPT. Use it even for answer writing also. So anyone is using ChatGPT now? You are using now? Just type one mains ka question. If you are wanting some answers for previous year's questions, right? Just copy paste. Even if you are not doing now, it's okay. Copy paste the PYQ in that, and in ChatGPT it will generate beautiful answers for you within some specific 5-6 points. You can also give a prompt, use it in a more bureaucratic style, or maybe give prompts nicely. It will give beautiful answers for you with diagrams also. If it is giving in the advanced version, I don't know. Use ChatGPT to the extent, right? Got it? Next, after economy, even for the disaster management also, you can ignore now, but some institute material you can go and refer. Okay, I referred to some only IAS and other material also. I think it's in Sunya or something. I don't remember exactly what I have referred to for disaster management. And then we are left with internal security. I followed Forum IAS ka Red Book and current affairs. That's all. Right? For ethics, that's all I think we are done in GS paper 3. All the components are done. Economic development, environment, disaster management and security. Security, Forum IAS Red Book. Okay? Done? Next, ethics. Let us come to ethics. GS paper 4. I followed only 2 books. And then lectures of Atul Garg sir. I followed it. It is really good source. Okay? The insights that he bring in those books are very good. Of course, you'll be having classes here if you are subscribed to Amigos, right? You'll be having ethics classes. So after going through the ethics classes here, do not duplicate anything. Okay, there will not be huge difference in teaching, but material you will find some difference. Got it? There are 2 books of Atul Garg sir's, Part A and Part B. Purchase those. Really, very, very, very good investment for ethics. Very good investment for ethics. For case studies, for Part A. First, don't go for Part B. Study Part A first, and then again order for Part B and do the case studies and previous year's questions. Okay, first get thorough with the concept. Done with the sources. Anything left? Anthropology will be dealt differently again. Okay, let us not club it together. Done. Any doubts in sources? Science and technology is left. For science and technology is again current affairs, and you can take any type this thing. Tata McGraw series or some series has some good science and technology book. I think I'm forgetting the source of that. But any institute material will also do for basics. Like for example, satellites. There is an institute book, and whatever it is there in the news, it will become very important. Okay. Okay. This is done now. Next comes optional. How do you choose your optional? Majority of you chose your optional. Anthropology, sociology, somewhere. Anybody wants to choose optional? You choose your optional. Which one? PSA. Why did you ask the question on how to choose optional? You. Sorry. You did not choose your optional still. What is your background? Civil engineering. Do you want to? There is subject of civil engineering also in UPSC optional. You want to go for it? No. So what do you want to go with? Maths? No. So humanities? Public administration, anthropology. Go for anthropology. That is what I tell you. Because I don't know much about public administration. What is the highest mark in public administration last year? For the past 5 years? Pabad optional. Mere kada? Pabad optional. Unnar kada evro? Someone is there. Jeppar kada evro indaka? I don't know. Arey, why do you want to be shy here? Fine. Okay. So, see the highest marks in certain optional. See, for example, your intuition will tell you these are my optionals, okay, and until it is an literature optional or something like that, you will find some 3 or 4 options which are suited for you, right? And then see into that key. Of course, your interest. Anyhow, many people will tell it is your interest. You have to read. Of course, you have to read. How many subjects are interesting in your 10th class? Just but we have read, right? So you have to see other parameters also. In your intermediate, in your civil engineering, I'm pretty much sure that all the subjects are not interesting. But for passing, for getting highest mark, you know what? I did not read pediatrics so much because it was not interesting for me, and I got silver medal in pediatrics. I read surgery to the core. I was topper in entire state in writing. This theory. Practicals, they did not give me so much of marks. I lost. I did not get. But it doesn't mean that I am very well versed in pediatrics and not in surgery. It's not like that, right? So there is a subject that you choose. You go for it. You have to secure marks. Whatever you do. That's all, right? So then how do you go about it? Definitely you must be considering PubAd and anthropology, right? That is what you told. Many must be having idea of at least. I'll tell you the famous subjects, okay? Famous optional subjects presently. Anthropology, sociology, PSIR, I don't know about public administration how it goes. Any other famous option? Geography also, I know people take geography also, but without getting so much of marks. But still, I don't know, people take geography so much. And then history a bit. Again, so these are the options that I can hear even in Lavasana also. Majority of the people, like at least some people, for example, my like one of the closest friends is my like sister Garima Lohia, rank 2. She took commerce because her background is that. See, right? So such an exceptional things that you need not take into consideration, right? But take for me, from me this thing, ki anthropology is always good, okay, no matter what. Sociology is always good. PSI is always good. Okay, even if you see the analysis of public administration, just go through it. Type top rankers from public administration in the past 10 years or maybe past 5-6 years at least. Not 10 is too much, for the 5-6 years. See how many of them got into IAS with your category. What is the rank? If there is any category or reservation for you, just see it. How much is a trend? How many are there into it? That also helps a lot. Okay, giving you the certain confidence. I would have taken medical science, but I have analyzed it from Tina Dabi's ma'am's batch, right? From that batch, if I see, I can hardly remember 5-6 people in top 100 who got into IAS with medical science optional. In general category, that my category got almost, I can remember Srija ma'am, I can remember Artika Shukla ma'am, I can remember some other in some 60s or 70s last year or before last year. That's all. I cannot remember anyone. Doesn't mean that they are not having in the top IAS, but I'm pretty much sure ki there are less than 10. But anthropology, every year top 10 you will find at least 2 to 3 people, 3-4 people at least, sometimes. In our batch, anthropology exploded like anything in marks. Maybe because of scaling or whatever the things are, we need not worry about it. But trust me, generally sociology, anthropology, these things perform better when compared to this. I don't know what is the highest mark of PubAd also, but I've hardly heard about some 2-3 people in my batch with public administration optional in IAS. Okay, so these are the calculations that you need to do. If you are going for anthropology, even if it is not interesting for you initially, you have to make it interesting. You have to secure marks no matter what. Okay, sometimes people with, for example, one of my closest friends, Uma Harati, yesterday she got engaged. That is why I came here. Okay, so she was writing with geography optional for the first 4 attempts. She could not get through. She changed to anthropology. She got rank 3. Anthropology made a lot of difference. She was getting around 260, 250s in geography. She got 290s. I think it's 293 or 294 in anthropology last year with minimal effort. Okay, that also you have to see. So how to choose optional? You got all the points. You have to see the trend. You have to see, of course, interest. Of course, yes, you have to develop interest, and you will develop automatically once you purchase all the sources, because you have spent a lot of money in that, right? That is also a driving factor for you. And if you want to take coaching, see the availability of coaching and see the availability of materials. If not one coaching material, you have to go for other coaching materials also. So anthropology, there is a lot of, for example, Joseph ma'am is there here, sir is there, and then in Wajiram Ravi there is a renowned faculty, some ma'am called as Bindu ma'am somewhere, Karandeep sir is there, and Anthro Guru Pavan is there. I think he's from Guntur. So there are, see, I can remember at least some 5 or 6 sources of anthropology. If not one, you can go to other, for value addition, for test series or whatever it is. Right? You got it? After that, start reading. Choose your option and start reading. I'm not going to bluff, you have to develop lot of interest. You should, you should love the subject. Yes, of course, you will fall in love. Definitely with the subject, provided you take interesting things. Okay, interesting sources. For example, if anthropology, if you read Ember and Ember, you will fall in love with anthropology. You take good coaching, you fall in love with anthropology. Right? Got it? I advise you to go for anthropology when compared to public administration. That is what my experience also tells. Right? Done with the optional? Because it was a bit boring, because many people already chose their optional. Okay, next, which element? Let us take schedule. Let me tell you. This is very important and generally people ignore. So sir, many people ask me how do we go about it from now? Right? From now. So this is which one? April last, right? April, 25th April. So how do I go about it, sir? How should I revise or how should I complete the syllabus, etc. Right? Let us take this is prelims. And this is mains. Hardly 3 months, right? This is a completely different plan. Now, always, I tell aspirants, I tell people, how should you go about it is, today is April 25th, and then there is May, June, July, August, September, okay, until January we'll discuss how to go about it. Afterwards it is exclusive prelims. February, March, April, and then May you write the exam, test series, whatever you want to, you can do. So now after choosing optional, you have chosen optional, you are ready with the sources, you are ready to go from now. This is the situation right now, right? Have you started with any subject, anyone? Reading or attending classes, whatever it is, started with something, right? Let us consider you started with some, let us say polity. Let us consider you started with one GS subject called as polity. Okay, you are attending coaching, right? You are attending some classes in the morning and you are also attending some optional classes also. No, not yet started. Anthropology not yet started here. If you are going for it or anywhere, whether you have joined or not. I consider this one, so let us consider this is 5 days, so ignore this. You can read with whatever you want to do. You start with the optional, or I maybe going with the sources of optionals, whatever that you choose. Anthropology you can make a plan of in these 5 days how should I go about anthropology. So whether I should attend the coaching, yes, if yes or no. No means what are the sources, whether I have all the sources covered, all the toppers copies, toppers notes, standard books like Vivek Bhasme or maybe Ember and Ember, or maybe Apala Mishra ma'am's notes, right? Sachin Gupta sir's notes, etc. You need not get them in hard copy. You can keep it in soft copy. These 5 days what you have to do is your optional sources should be sorted out and they should be done in one folder in your laptops or whatever it is. Or if you are not having any technology related gadgets or whatever it is, you can get them printed and keep them as hard copy. All the sources. Okay. If not for paper, if you want to start with paper 1, first buy paper 1 sources. Okay. Right. And then after some time, after 1 or 2 months, you can buy again paper 2 sources. Right. These 5 days you have to consolidate with the optional things. This is my understanding of the things, but it is up to you that you want to follow it or not. It's up to your basic plan. You want to change it or you can definitely change it. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until October. Okay. September, October. This is May, June, July, August, September. See, until October start, or you can take this, right? So this is the October 31st. October 31st hai na? Right. So October 31st you can, or maybe until November mid also you can try. If you are deviating from your syllabus, you have to complete your optional syllabus in one part. Maybe you dedicate 3 hours or 4 hours or 5 hours, whatever it is. What you are attending coaching. If you are spending 3 hours on class, spend other 3 or 4 hours in understanding the things and making notes. Some 7 hours for optional. 7-8 hours in a day, which includes coaching of optional. Or else you can obviously read for another 3-4 hours. Why? Because now mastering optional is very, very important because it carries 500 marks in your exam. There will be lot of rumors coming. Optional will be not there from next year or next year. No, it's never like that. Until the notification comes, optional will be there. And this talk has been there in UPSC world since 10 years. Optional will be removed, optional will be changed, optional will not be there, anthropology will be removed. For IAS, certain optionals like PubAd will come. For IPS, certain optionals like law should be learnt. Nothing like that. It is a level playing field for everyone. And if you see marks also, except for mathematics, sometimes it goes beyond the optional reach. But other than that, all the optionals, if you see the highest marks are the average marks, it will be hovering around plus or minus 10-15 marks only. UPSC gives that level playing field in terms of scaling, in terms of marking, etc. based upon the difficulty of the paper. It changes. So all the optionals are the one and the same, except for some options like civil engineering, medical science. Okay, because people did not decode what is to be done in those optionals, so it might have some lesser average marks. But trust me, these common optionals that we have discussed until now, they carry equal average safe marks if you are writing so good in the exam. Trust me, this is not going to be removed until next year also. Definitely for 2 to 3 years. I don't think so it will change very drastically. But of course, new government, if the new government comes or the existing government is there, in the new term in the central government, it might change. But until the notification comes in February next year, it is deemed to be noted that you have optional for your exams. Okay, got it? Right? So you have to complete your optional by October end, no matter what. Both paper 1 and paper 2, plus at least 75% of one of the biggest papers. Maybe if, for example, paper 1 is bigger, let's think in anthropology, paper 1 is so big, right? So in paper 1, I presume ki 75% of your paper 1 ka notes should be completed. At least 75%. Got it? Whatever may be your optional, at least one of the papers ka 75% notes should be done. And this is until October end. You have, so November, December will be left. So your entire coaching or entire reading of paper 1 and paper 2 should be done, and at least the perfect and the penultimate final notes should be done 75% in one of the papers. Practically possible? Possible, right? Everyone agrees with us? If I am going extravagantly, please tell me, sir, it is not possible. Okay, right. Next, the other stream should be dedicated to the GS. So how should I plan GS? You started with polity. You do polity now. Okay. How do I go about newspaper? That will come. Newspaper and current affairs both will cover. So how should I go about it is, obviously start with one GS stream. After, if you are going with the polity, yes, polity. And then you can see generally current affairs related topics like economy, science and technology, etc. That should be read maybe around September. Start reading that, because you'll be having content for these 2-3 months at least to read. And then basic concepts like, for example, economy, if you take Vivek Singh sir, for to understand that, to go for it, it will take some time. Until then, try to complete polity and history. Until that October, you should be able to complete polity, history, which includes art and culture. Okay. And then if you are thinking for it, go for environment. So at least 3 or 4 subjects should be done. For month, if you are completing one subject for months, at least hardly, how many months are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 months are there until October end. 6 months, 6 subjects will be done. At least maximum 4 if you are completing. It's good. Not only for prelims perspective, should be mains perspective also. That is what I am trying to tell you. Some small topics like internal security will be done within 2 to 3 days, 3 or 4 days maximum. Okay. So for such subjects, you have to categorize them. For example, internal security, you want to read about terrorism today. Okay. Keep your 1 week terrorism, you read. Revise it multiple times. Prepare the notes. Read it, complete it. And next week you take Naxalism. Okay. For such small topics, you have to read like this. Okay. Which need not have some continuations, need not have a clear understanding of the previous subjects or previous chapters. Without any links, you have to read in such a manner. For example, dedicate some 1 day of a week for internal security, or maybe some other things like international relations or something. Right? This week you read India-Australia relations. Next week you read India-USA relations. Next week India-Russia, major things. By the time you come to October, you will be done with polity. If you are reading in a thoroughly, polity, history, all ancient, medieval, even medieval also you have to read. Right? It's very important for prelims also. After coming to prelims, you will be reading less about its medieval history, but trust me, medieval India is also very, very important for this year prelims. Any year to that matter, because the questions are rising in number. Okay, ancient, medieval, modern India should be done. Polity, so how I did was, first I did ancient India, then medieval India, modern India, which continues with the constitution. So the 1957, which continues with the constitution, and then I read polity. After polity I jumped to economy, and then environment I have done. Okay, but economy, if you are facing some difficulty, you can keep it in after September, October, November also, not an issue for that, right? So by October you have to complete minimum these things. You will be left with maximum economy, science and technology, ethics. That's all. Or maybe the small topics like governance, world history, etc. that can be done after prelims. Not at all needed now. You need not see. Let me tell you guys. Even if in the class they are going with the module of world history now, ask them not to. Ask them not to complete now. First complete primary subjects like ethics. Ethics is a primary subject again, which carries 250 marks. World history may maximum one question, two question comes, which carries 30 marks. They spend around 3 weeks, 4 weeks for world history to complete. You should demand, we don't want world history, we want prime subjects only. You need not discuss governance now. You can discuss governance after prelims. Just sit for 2 or 3 days. Whoever qualified qualified for mains, they can sit and listen to governance, right? Remaining people, you need not sit for governance. I'm telling you, you yourself make a schedule commonly, or maybe if you want to read individually, that you can read individually. But in the classes, you tell them, sir, we don't want world history now. We don't want governance now. We want only prime subjects like history, polity, economy, environment, and then geography. These are the 4 or 5 prime subjects that you need to listen, you need to complete before October. So ask for them, even in the coaching also, right? They'll tell you so many things, but ignore, intimidate them with your timetables. Okay, got it? And then this can be discussed afterwards. The revision plan, but I have written revision plan, but you need not sit and revise for the subjects now, right? Remaining subjects, whatever it is, revision in the sense ki what I am trying to tell you is, for example, it is like a 10th class exam only, board exam. UPSC exam is like a board exam. There are some 7-8 subjects. Syllabus is defined in mains. Even in prelims also, they don't go beyond anything. If you see last year's 2023 ka paper, everything was important. Every current affair was in news, prime news, be it coup, be it whatever it is, some war has taken place, some insurgency has taken place, some coup has taken place. Everything was in news last year. Every question was in news, except for history here and there. Okay, so UPSC concentrates on important things only, not on trivial things. Trust me, this is true. And then we can see, I'll keep on coming every month almost. So for you, we can interact. Even if I'm not coming here, we can interact in an online mode for you guys, because mentorship is obviously conquered, and it was addition to whatever the PCM courses that are running, right? I don't know much about these courses, but I've been told that it is included. So obviously it is very helpful for you. I'll be coming, I'll be interacting with you personally also. Okay, even in the online mode we can interact. You can sit at your home and you can come. You can sit at your hostels also, you can connect, right? So this will be done. So I'm just telling you in a broad framework what you have to do now, right? Let us discuss about the revision plan later. Now it's not needed. First, at least we have to complete once or twice. Reading Polity Lakshmikant, you have to complete at least once to discuss about revision strategy, right? Whatever the revision plan you have, you start implementing it, and then if you have any doubts, ask me, I'll tell you. So this is not, it might deter you in learning or maybe having some remembrance on something. So do it later. Okay, I'll guide you in that aspect as a mentor. Okay, got it? So this is a broad framework, optional GS, and after this part we'll discuss it later in our sessions or whatever it is. You need not have very long term plan. No, be in reality. Am I going anything impractical here? Possible for everyone? If you are not doing this, you are not a serious aspirant. See, if you're not doing this, is not exactly this plan, according to your plan, right? You are not a serious aspirant. You might be in some futile relationship here, which is not all helpful for you guys in coming future, which eats up a lot of time. right? So be very serious about this. Don't give me examples ki sir some rank 1 has got some good supporting partner, so he has cracked the exam. How many of them cracked the exam? Listen, please, okay, don't be impractical, right? Because I've seen many aspirants destroying their lives in old Rajendra and Ashok Nagar also, right? So let us come to, so this is a futile question, obviously, because I was surprised ki initially first time was a what is the revision strategy? I thought you have completed everything. That's the thing. So but go in an orderly fashion. So it is not incorrect to have certain enthusiasm first, but also sink in, have some reality with you, right? First complete once, twice, and then go for the revision. Same like you have passed all your 10th class intermediate exams, right? Same way you have to plan revision here also. Same way, nothing different. This exam is not huge or something, toughest exam in the world, nothing like that, right? And then we'll come to, so this schedule is done almost, right? Daily schedule, let's come to daily. Daily time management. Okay, see, you might study 10 hours, that might be your strength. I might read 6 hours only, but it might be my strength. For answer writing, etc., I did not do too much because I was very good at answer writing. So I concentrated on value addition, I concentrated on multiple revisions, but I did not write too much because it was my strength. So I advise you guys ki have your strengths and weaknesses. So we'll come to the weakness also next. So, right, and you asked about the weakness, right? So how do you go about it daily? It is your strength. I used to watch web series. I used to binge watch web series also in between. For 6 days, if I'm reading for 15-16 hours daily, I used to take break of 3 or 4 days and do nothing. So see, in this preparation, you need not change yourself much. But if it is deterring your chances, if it is deviating you too much, then there is a need for changing, right? Until it is not disturbing your daily schedule, until it is not disturbing your targets to be reached, you can safely ignore whatever you are doing without deviating much. You can watch movies, definitely, happily. There is a lot of very popular theaters over here, you can go and watch them. Nothing like that. You can happily ignore 3-4 hours daily if you are reading better in other days, right? You need not be a bookworm for UPSC. How many of you have some hobbies here? How many of you play cricket? How many of you are good with music, singing, dancing? You have some hobbies with you, right? At least if you are having 1 or 2 hobbies, improve them. Okay, improve them because it will be helpful for your interview also. And that is one obviously, that is important. Second is it improves your personality. It calms down your bit. It gives you self-confidence if you are very good at something, right? So I was gymming before that, but you can see now my body. You can ask me, sir, you are not gymming. That's a different thing. But after marriage, you also will become, you'll get a lot of tummies. That's not a thing. But trust me, improve your hobbies a bit, 1 or 2, at least to write in DAF. Be very bold in this preparation. Don't lose your character. Don't go for deviations. Enjoy yourself in this preparation. Enjoy the preparation so much. Okay, it will help you a lot. Daily schedule is very flexible. I don't advise people. I don't want to bluff like many other people. I have seen many toppers docs of my friends, my so-called friends in Lavasana, gave toppers docs like they have studied from morning 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and I know what they do in Lavasana. Okay, so ignore those toppers docs. Have it in a very flexible manner. Do it very comfortably. Enjoy the preparation. Rock it. Okay, that is what I am trying to tell you, boss. So there is nothing. And notes making also. For the first reading, don't go for notes making. From the second reading, you have to go for the notes. Take some toppers notes or see any templates that you have seen. Write introduction for separation of powers doctrine. Sir, how should I improve my introduction, sir? Now you might see an introduction of you for separation of powers may not be that great initially, but once you start revising your things, it will become better. Okay, you yourself will start consolidating your notes. Once you see ki after maybe you start reading toppers copies of mains, you might understand ki okay, this might be the perfect introduction for me. If I see separation of powers question, then replace that with this, and then write some points like, what are the advantages, overlapping, what are the notes is there, and then conclusion in a futuristic tone. That's all. This is how you have to make notes initially, but trust me, let us deep dive into notes making afterwards. Now it is not required because you are absolute beginners. Okay, this is how you should start thinking. Okay, after reading at least once or twice for the entire syllabus, you can start viewing toppers copies. Okay, how did they write? Of course, answers might not be so great. Many people might write great answers even if they are not getting selected, but the thought process you will enter into. That's all. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, at least what is the thing that you need to make. So this also is now redundant. Now we see what happens. The overcome weaknesses, right? Revise multiple times. That's all. That is why I have kept it after revision. How do you overcome weakness of, for example, if you are not well with polity, read polity more number of times. That's all. No? Nothing more. Use your YouTube to the maximum extent. That is what I am trying to tell you. Okay. This is what I am trying to tell you about how do you overcome your weaknesses. Right. And then we'll again deep dive into many things later. Then comes to self-doubt. You always have this self-doubt. Even before prelims, even before mains, even before interview, even I had the same, and you will also go through the same. But trust me, again, once you see, how do you complete your syllabus? You get your confidence when you start completing your syllabus for UPSC. Sir, people tell ki we won't complete syllabus in UPSC. How do you say about it? You complete your UPSC syllabus. For example, let us take history, ancient India. I complete the syllabus of ancient India. It is presumed that I complete the syllabus of ancient India when I complete reading and revising of R.S. Sharma book. That's all. If I am reading PMF IAS, starting from the environment, the basics to the advanced level, whatever it is there in the PMF IAS, including national parks, etc., whatever it is there, it is deemed that my environment syllabus is done. Along with current affairs, example. Current affairs is from newspaper and again magazines or whatever it is. The same thing. Not much to be made. And we'll take a separate session, online session on how do you go about current affairs from now. Now now for the first 2 months, from June you should concentrate on current affairs. For these April remaining days and for May, you can safely ignore current affairs and just get the feel of that newspaper. Start reading newspaper somehow, but I am not telling you how to read newspaper from now only. In May, I'll tell you how to read newspaper. Right? Now get the feel of that newspaper. Be it, experiment with the Hindu, experiment with the Indian Express, experiment with other newspapers, Live Mint, whatever you want to. Fix to a newspaper, and then if you're reading Hindu, read Hindu entirely, and then take articles from Indian Express, explained portion of Indian Express, whatever it is. Good investment if you subscribe for it. I think there is also some UPSC discount for newspapers, I think, right? So you can go about it, soft copy, hard copy, whatever you want to, you can go about it, newspaper. But I'll tell you afterwards how to read newspaper, because I did not read newspaper too much. That's the thing. But I know how to read it because during interview days I started reading newspaper, but there was very less amount of time for me. I'm being very genuine with you because I did not study too much of newspapers also. But I was taught how to read newspaper in a good way. Okay, I'll tell you in the next sessions that we take, right? Anthro will be dealt separately. Approach for prelims and mains combinedly. Now, for example, if you are reading polity, constitution, the first philosophy of constitution, fundamental rights, etc., see the mains part of this also. See the mains question that we have seen. You can take previous year's questions. You can type some what are the mains questions on fundamental rights, UPSC. Take some 5 or 6 questions. See how it is there. Prepare for mains also. Introduction, body, conclusion, how to go about it, keep important points and keep updating. So that notes making, we'll see this. I'll be of course there with you for the next 1 year, right? So we'll go in a slow manner. Now you got an idea in a brief manner. How do you go about it? Overcome weakness, this is done. What to read and what not to read, now you got, right? Even while reading newspaper also, you can safely ignore some political news. Now, until these election results, until entire almost newspaper will be covered with political things that you can safely ignore sometimes. But you can observe representation of people act there. Okay, so what are the election malpractices that are going on? Maybe election ka expenditure ka malpractices. What is the meaning called a star campaigner? What is that? So ruling party, opposition party, when it is called as national party, when it is called as state party. So these are the things that you need to now, because elections are going on. You can polity mein you have to read Representation of People Act, even in NCERT or whatever it is, wherever it is there, you have to read. Right? For NCERTs, see, I'll come to the answer writing in the last one. We'll conclude it. See, current affairs also, I've just told you, right? So one is magazines that you have to follow. You have to revise it multiple times. But I'll tell you a small trick. After seeing 2022-23 papers, one is you have to do one, for example, for prelims specifically. For mains anyhow, main issues will be covered in any of the magazines that you can safely ignore for now. For prelims, what you do is, this is what I understand to be a correct practice, but try it and tell me in the next month whether it is working or not. Take an A4 sheet daily. If you are reading newspaper from June, okay, you have to have 30 A4 pages for current affairs, which I ignored. But it was, I was in lot of tension before prelims. I did not cover current affairs. Luckily, less amount of current affairs have come in 2022. But to gain that confidence in current affairs, for example, places in news, speeches in news, all this will be done in newspaper on that day. Okay, if you are just noting it down, on that day, okay, and then start revising it, the themes. For example, I followed Sunya IAS current affairs for prelims. Next, for June, I'll be reading newspapers and noting down certain things. Right? I'll explain you how to read newspaper, how to make notes out of it in the next month. Because just get the feel of newspaper for these 15-20 days. Don't do anything. Just have that feel. Start reading articles. Whatever article, be it political article, whatever it is, just start reading. Okay? After that, what you do is, in the June, if you have completed, and in July, first week, magazine comes. Whatever the institute magazine that comes in first week or second week, then dedicate some 3 or 4 days to complete current affairs and include this notes and that notes and make a small notes. Because lot of notes that you made would already be covered in that magazine, so you can safely ignore, you can cut it off. When you find something extra in your notes that you have made during that day, then you can just paste it in the next magazine with some extra 3 or 4 A4. This is prelim specific. It might cover news, like for example, there is some bomb blast happened in some country, then that country might be very important. Those boundaries might be important. Bomb blast is not small, these bombs, not Diwali bombs. Any bomb blast that happened, something, some coup has taken place. You will understand by yourself what is important, what is not important is also, right? Then that you can definitely do, and we'll do it practically also. I'll show you how to do it also. So this you will get by time, what to read, what not to read. That maybe after 3 months or 4 months, you yourself will understand what is right, what is wrong. Okay, yeah, answer writing. See, this is what, how do you approach for prelims is this, and then newspaper optional, plan, anthro will be dealt separately, and then NCERTs, whether you have to read all NCERTs or not required. For economy, you need not read NCERTs. You can follow one source from basics. This is what I felt. If you are following Vivek Singh, start from zero of Vivek Singh and end with the last page. You will be well versed in economy. Okay. For geography, I understood you have to read all the NCERTs from 6th to 11th and 12th also. 12th has become redundant now because of the very old information it has got. You can just have a reading of that, feel it, and then if you feel PMF IAS is better, go for it. But do read geographic NCERTs. Of course, NCERTs in modern India, not modern India, in ancient and medieval, we are reading NCERTs anyhow. After reading R.S. Sharma old NCERT, have a look of new NCERT also. Okay, you might find extra information of around one A4 paper. So both sides, if you write small notes, that is the only extra thing that you can find in. Maybe some extra maps in news, maybe extra travelers, some here and there, 1 or 2 travelers in medieval and ancient India, somewhere it has been mentioned, some new inscription. Okay, these are the things that you might find in new NCERTs. That you take an A4 sheet, make your own notes of ancient India, or if you are reading with NCERT, paste it with your NCERT and read. Okay, have a look of new also, because there are many places which are not there in the old NCERT, they are present in new NCERT, even from 6th also. So just concentrate on maps, concentrate on these travelers, coins, new terminology of ancient India, etc. That you are talking about the new terminology, no? How do you go about it? This is how you go. Okay, once you start reading, you yourself will understand everything. Alright, got it? Right? So until now, next comes with the answer writing part. See, I advise you, there will be a lot of strengths and weaknesses for you. When you are from medicine background or the background where you write more, answer writing might not be too much of problematic for you. Okay, but trust me, if you start writing early, like sir, how much early? At least if you are completing some polity, let us say, and you have started preparing notes of your mains, start writing only polity answers. You need not write test series for that. Okay, if you are taking some test series of take only polity part for that. If you are subscribing to a test series, write only polity. Okay, and if you are going for ancient and medieval India, so how do I go about answer writing in the basics? Is first we'll all write all the bad answers only, so not an issue. And there is, trust me, there is no specific structure that you need to write. So this should be there, diagram should be there. No, I have known people who did not draw even a single diagram scored very better marks when compared to me who drew diagrams. Okay, so that is why I'm telling you, first start writing something. Okay, you will understand after 1 or 2 months. You will start understanding, and answer writing is a very big session that we cannot cover it in some 5 or 10 minutes. I'm telling you, sir, so everyone is going with polity now in the coaching, right? Do your own notes of polity, write mains answers of the mains portion of prepare according to the mains of polity. For example, separation of powers doctrine we have seen now. Now in the test series, after completion of polity, write polity test series. But here, after seeing this, for example, we have seen some questions of separation of powers. Write those questions in some A4 sheet or whatever it is. You need not subscribe test series initially only. Got it? Value addition, maps, diagrams, etc. will be dealt afterwards, not now. Concentrate on making your own notes. Start writing answers by yourself after seeing those questions on various websites that we have seen. Only that is required, because answer writing in UPSC is overhyped. But I completely agree that many people don't know how to write good answers completely. But we'll see how it goes, right? During the course of preparation, just start writing answers and show it to the mentors here. For example, Kalyan sir, many people are there to correct answers, to tell you what are there. Show to them, they'll tell you in a better way. And then we'll again have a session. We'll start with what is the basics of answer writing, whether you are writing correct or not, how do you value add. Value addition is almost done between prelims and mains. That is not now, but you have to see what you have to write, what you should not write also. Okay, people will be writing definitions, unnecessary examples or whatever, even though it is not asked. Okay, just answer to the question, answer to the part. You start writing answer, then we'll discuss. Okay, sir, how do I write? You just complete the syllabus, complete polity, do about it, go about it. That's all. Got it? Any other doubts? No? Any other gyan you required from me which is not required? Right? This is how you have to go. Okay, start your preparation, because you're absolute beginners. I don't want to stress anything more about this preparation. This preparation is always overhyped. Even if you're not getting through after a lot of attempts, it's completely fine. Okay, it's not so great. IAS, IPS, anything, these services are not very great. These are also like any other job that you need to do with better perks and amenities. That's all. Nothing more than that. Okay, don't get into this overhype of UPSC market. Be in reality. Treat it like a board exam and write. Do not take any pressure. That is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not trying to give any too much of hype of UPSC preparation. Right? Choose your sources perfectly and fix to it. Do not change. You might see some extra 10 number of points in other books also. It's okay. Even if you are not reading that much, it's completely fine. You should understand the demand of UPSC, which is not absolute knowledge for you. Okay. And if you speak, say, there is a lot of difference I have observed. I'm not demeaning, because I'm in a service which is a very good service in India. But I try to tell you, okay, this is very hyped. Okay, this is not rosy. There are a lot of challenges, lot of things that are coming into our life, trainings, etc., etc. Definitely, there is a lot of hard tasks, but you have to carry on that attitude that that you have carried through all these days, and you have to go about it. That's all. All the best. See you.